Monetary policy. First of all, we have to understand our linkages. Just like we have central money, and second one is the commercial financial institutions, and third one is the household sector, and we can include here is the business sector and industry and other sectors. Look here, that sector which need money, that is called the demand side. And which institution provide the supply the money, that is called the supply side. And generally, main supply side is the central bank, and the secondary or the supply side is the financial institution. This is the money supply, yes. And all we know, money market and capital market. This is the MD, this is the MS, and this is the equilibrium situation. And if we have a quantity of money, is the excessive supply. This is the excessive supply, and this is the excessive demand. We have two situations: excessive supply of the quantity of money and the excessive supply demand of the quantity of money. And in this situation, it has also negative and positive implication. And generally, if we have excessive supply of the money in financial institutions and the household sector, all of it brings us the liquidity, more liquidity, availability of the liquidity. And this is also it brings us the stress, means how to utilize your liquidity, how to utilize your money. And this is the major, and it brings us if we can manage properly, if we can channelize properly, it gives us the desired effects. And we get the higher economic growth rate, price stability, and full employment situation. But if we cannot manage in this situation, it brings us the negative implication. This is the one part. And our major activities, just like the governors, Minister of Finance, and economists and policy makers, major exercise is how to reduce, minimize the negative implication and convert the desired effect on our economics in different economic activities for achieving our major economic goals. This is our major concern, and for this purpose, we formulate the monetary policy. And we use the different types of the instruments. That is our major concern. This is the one part. Second part is in this way we need the monetary policy. Means we have to control the money supply in this situation. Second one is when household sector, business sector, and other sector demands more money. But our situation, money supply situation is not good. In this situation, we have a liquidity trap problem. Liquidity trap. Now, liquidity, shortage of the liquidity creates also the stress to the supply side. And the demand side, they need more for different types of activities, and all the time they cannot do it. But in the case of the central bank and financial institution, they can supply as demanded by the household sector or the business demand side sector. And in this situation, it brings us the negative implication. And what will happen? This is the discouraging situation. And our major concern is, as an economist, as a governor, as a policy maker, our major concern is how to minimize negative implication of the liquidity trap. This is our major concern. And in this situation, how to manage it? and how to convert negative implication into the positive implication in our economy for achieving our desired effects in our economy. This is our major concern. In this way, we need the monetary policy and monetary tools. Do you understand me? This is the major concern. And in this way, I try to establish you monetary policy's major concern is the, to maintain flow or the linkages between the demand and money supply situation. We have to maintain the equilibrium situation so that we can achieve the desired effects of our monetary policy. Our major concern is targeted at that point. And then after we can expand our economic activities for achieving our economic objectives. In this situation, supply side is very important to us. Now it is not easy to look at. Just like if we observe the US recession, what happened? The financial institution providing more loan credit on the real estate. At the lower interest rate. And what happened? The real estate, household sector, private sector, business sector, all use all these resources and they invest there. And what happens? In this situation, real estate's price increases. And your transaction will happen. But ultimately what happened? The real estate situation is collapsed. And then its negative implication goes on the financial institution. And then after it hits on the US economy. And it creates the liquidity trap at that time. And what happened? The financial institutions cannot inject as required liquidity in the market. And in this situation, that your supply is disturbed because all monies are invested in the real estate. And present just like the Guna cooperative and the warrantor. If you observe here, these cooperatives have the huge investment in real estate. Its best is the speculation. Speculation means projection of the real estate price will be doubled, and the financial institution can make the profit. That is the thing. But if you observe analyzing, you can easily find out your investment is more than 1 billion. What happened? But if you observe the institutional, you cannot find the economics. You cannot find the MBA holder manager. And their investment decision was wrong. And they invested all the resources in the fixed asset. Now these institutions are suffering from the liquidity trap. And because that speculation went down or they melted down. And what happened? Price of the real estate down. And what happened? This Guna and warrantor are not able to sell that real estate at low price. If they sell it at low price, what will happen? They will lose. And in this situation, these Guna and warrantor cooperatives are suffering from the liquidity trap. What happened if their issue is coming in the market? The depositors is depositors try to get their money back from their cooperatives. These cooperatives are the rich ones, but they have problems of the liquidity. And this is the situation, and it brings on the recession in this Guna and Oriental. But in the case of the US recession, its impact goes on the whole economy, and then after it also leads the other related economy in the world, just like the European countries and India, China, and other countries also. Please remember, except in some countries. In this situation, money supply is very important component to maintain, to achieve our desired effects, as well as to achieve our overall economic goal of the country. Now, in the money supply, we have two things. One is the issue of money, another is the credit. And it increases the quantity of money in the market. If quantity of money increases, the money supply increases. And then we have if we observe in this situation, our major concern is the desired effects and objectives. And generally, the central bank controls the supply of money and credit on the basis of the national requirement, economic requirement. And if we observe the Professor Johnson's definition, that monetary policy is defined as the policy employing central banks to control of the supply of money as an instrument for achieving the objectives of general economic policy. Means this is the policy's major concern is the control of money supply. That means credit and money, quantity of money.
US recession manali 2007-8 case study.
Monetary policies, and if we observe the policy, we have two types of policies. One is the expansionary policy, another is the contraction policy. When excessive demand, money supply is excessive, at that time central bank follows the contraction policy. Means how they use it, just like the bank rate increases, cash reserve ratio increases, and also the try to purchase the share and securities from the open market. That is the thing. And another is the issue of the development bonds. This is the part. And in this way, try to control the money supply in the money market. Do you understand me? And when there is a excessive demand of the money, economic needs, economic activities, and productive investment, at that time period, Nepal Asst Bank or the central bank reduces the buying rates, and also reduce the credit reserve ratio, and also the sell the and also the try to purchase the bonds and the debentures from the commercial bank. And in this situation, what happened? The money market or the financial institutions will have the liquidity, and they can invest in the different proposals of the business sector, industries, and the service sector and household sector. And then after you can easily find out the economic activities increases. And in this situation, contraction, to maintain the economic activities. In this way, on the basis of the situation, on the basis of the economy, we have to adopt the two major policies. One is the expansionary, another is the contraction policy. At present moment, Nepal Asst Bank has been adopting the contraction policy, slight contraction policy. And the Nepal Asst Bank, one hand, promote the economic activities and the expansionary economic activities, another hand, try to control the money supply and limit the unproductive sector, and they try to convert the productive sector for achieving the desired goals. And if we observe the overall economy's goal, you can easily find out theoretically and empirically we have four major objectives. One is higher economic growth rate. Means higher economic growth rate. Generally, each and every economy wants more than 3% economic growth rate for addressing the different types of the issues and problems of the economy. Another is the price stability. Generally, economy wants, or the central bank wants, less than double-digit inflation in the country, and it is linked with the economic growth rate. If we have a higher economic growth rate, slight inflation is desired. And by positive BOP, generally, countries' major concern is the how to maintain trade balance. How to maintain the positive balance of payment. Otherwise, its negative implication plays negative role in our cash reserve ratios, foreign exchange reserve ratio, and also our economic activities. And full employment, unemployment is a root cause of the poverty, and we have to address it. And it's in this way, monetary policy and fiscal policy's major concern is the how to increase the economic activities for employment generation. This is the major concern. Now, if we have the central bank have the three instruments. One is the bank rate, and the central bank controls the bank rates and cash reserve ratio, just like the central bank and the financial bank, commercial bank. And then that commercial bank has to deposit the certain amount of the money on the base of the cash, means the deposit, and just like maybe 2%, let's suppose, and if the 2% is made 5%, what happened? This is its negative implication, both liquidity decreases. Now, if the 5% cash reserve ratio is there, and the Nepal Central Bank revised it and they try to bring in the 2%, what happened? Liquidity in the financial institution increases. And similarly, bank rates. Just like the central bank also provided the loans to the commercial banks and the certain amount or percentage, just like the 6%. Now it makes 5%. What happened? Means the liquidity control. Now, if 8% is make 5%, liquidity expands. And similarly, Nepal Central Bank also maintain the 5% spreading rate, just like the deposit is the 7%. Now 5%, 12%, bank must provide loan at the 12%. And if we revise, just like the 7% is made, 5% interest rate, what happened? Liquidity increases. And in this situation again, 30%, maybe 12% is maintained if we need the expansion. But if we want to control it, we interest rate on the credit increases. Another is the open market operation. We have bonds, sale, debentures. These are the instruments. When central bank purchase the bonds, sale, and debentures, what happened? Liquidity injected in the open market. And when bonds and sale and debentures purchase at that time period, liquidity. When they sell, liquidity comes in the central bank, it pours it. And when sell it, what happened? Liquidity comes here, and when throw in the market, liquidity increases. In this situation, time to time, as requirement of the country and the economy and this economic situation, central bank issues the bonds to control the liquidity. And when market needs the liquidity, and and the bonds and share and debentures are purchased by the central bank.
So यो रिपो रिभर्सिबल चाहिँ कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कले किन्छ नि जस्तो त
रिपर्सेस हैन
हजुर यहाँ आछ त्यो पनि त्यही त हुन्छ
त्यही त सर त्यो के भएर किन्छ जस्तो राष्ट्रले किन्नै पर्ने हुन्छ कमर्सियल ब्याङ्क
होइन कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कको जुन म्यानेजमेन्टको लागि यो सेक्युरिटी मेजर हो के कमर्सियल ब्याङ्क तपाईँको यताउता भयो ल त कस्तो भयो भने पैसाहरूसँग रहन्छ नि त कुनै पनि नाममा बोन्स रहन्छ तपाईँको एसेट हो नि त सेयरै रहन्छ तपाईँको त्यो उसले जस्तै कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कले तपाईँको चाहिँ मानौ तपाईँको चाहिँ 1000 युनिट 1 करोड रुपियाँको तपाईँको चाहिँ उसले बोन्स छ यो चाहिँ तपाईँको कमर्सियल ब्याङ्क हो यो कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कको यदि देशमा क्राइसिस भयो भने यो 1 करोड त उसले लिइदिन्छ नि त
बचत पत्र
रिपोहरूको पनि तपाईँको के छ भन्दाखेरि यो ओपन मार्केट इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट हो त्यो इन्स्ट्रुमेन्ट चाहिँ यदि यसले कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कले होल्ड गर्यो भने उसको चाहिँ लिक्विडिटी कम हो होल्ड गरेन उसले तपाईँको सेल गरिदियो भने लिक्विडिटी कन्भर्जन गर्यो भने उसँग लिक्विडिटी हुन्छ फेरि यो सेक्युरिटीको पनि कुरा हो जस्तै तपाईँको चाहिँ डिभेन्चर छ बोन्स छ तपाईँको सेयर छ र अरू छ भने यसले बोक्या यो कागज बोक्या छ बैंक चाहिँ समस्याग्रस्त भयो भने नेपाल राष्ट्र ब्याङ्कले यो सबै किनिदिन्छ किनिदिँदैन यो त एसेट हो नि त्यसले गर्दाखेरि अनि त्यसपछि गएर कमर्सियल ब्याङ्कको केही प्रब्लम्स भयो भने
तपाईको यो अब्जेक्टिभ सुन्छ नि त हायर इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ यो हायर इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ चाहिँ केले गर्दा हुन्छ इन्फ्लेसनले गर्दा इकोनोमीमा
इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ
किनकि मलाई यो इन्टरमिडिएट छ जस्तो इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ र इन्फ्लेसन
ए होइन यसो छ
इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ भनेको
इकोनोमिक एक्सपान्सनको मेजर ध्येय हुन्छ इकोनोमिक एक्सपान्सन भयो भने के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि तपाईको एम्प्लॉयमेन्ट जेनेरेसन हुन्छ ट्याक्सहरु तपाईको चाहिँ कन्ट्रिब्युसनहरु हुन्छ त्यसपछि गएर मार्केटमा सामानहरु हुन्छ त्यो सामानहरु तपाईको चाहिँ सप्लाई र डिमान्डको केसमा सप्लाई बढ्यो भने डिमान्डलाई चाहिँ तपाईको चाहिँ मार्केट सामानहरुको पैसा घट्न सक्छ एम्प्लॉयमेन्ट बढ्न थालेपछि मान्छेसँग पैसा होल्डिङ हुन्छ होल्डिङ भइसकेपछि डिमान्ड ट्रेड हुन्छ त्यहाँबाट तपाईको इन्फ्लेसन प्राइसको जुन स्टेबिलिटी फिगर छ त्यो चाहिँ धर्मडाउन या चेन्जेस हुन थाल्छ मेजर कुरा त सप्लाई र डिमान्ड नै त हो नि सामानको सप्लाई र डिमान्ड इक्विलिब्रियम सिचुएसन छ हाम्रो कहीँ पनि छैन गन्जागोल छ भने के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि त्यसले तपाईको इन्फ्लेसन जुन प्राइस लेभल छ त्यो प्राइस लेभलमा डिस्टर्बेन्स गर्दैन कार्टेलिङ गर्नु पर्यो या चाहिँ अरू चीज गर्नु पर्यो त्यसपछि मात्र डिस्टर्बेन्स हुन्छ अब इकोनोमिक एक्टिभिटीज भनेको नै प्रोडक्टिभ चाहिँ एक्टिभिटीज बढ्न थालिसकेपछि जीडीपी त चेन्ज भइहाल्छ इकोनोमिक ग्रोथ हुन्छ नि त्यो ग्रोथमा के हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि एम्प्लॉयमेन्ट जेनेरेसन हुन्छ एम्प्लॉयमेन्ट जेनेरेसन भइसकेपछि त त्यो मान्छेसँग पैसा आउन थाल्छ नि जस्तै यहाँ अहिले ठुलो प्रोजेक्ट आयो र मास्टर्स लेभलको स्टुडेन्ट चाहिँ तपाईको ल मात्रै एम्प्लॉयमेन्ट अपर्चुनिटिज दिने हो भने यहाँको मान्छे सबैजना हायर हुन्छ नि उसले हिजो पैसा कमाएको छैन भने उसले 10,000 पैसा आयो भने कहाँ जान्छ उसको डिमान्ड हुन्छ स्वाभाविक रूपमा बढ्छ नि त्यो डिमान्ड बढ्दा साथै तपाईको के भन्दाखेरि तपाईको सामानको प्राइस चाहिँ फ्लक्चुएट जस्तै हाम्रो स्यालेरी बढ्दा जस्तै हुन्छ त्यही हो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि तपाईको मेजर कन्सर्न इकोनोमिक एक्टिभिटीज हो र इकोनोमिक एक्टिभिटीजले ल्याउने फ्लक्चुएसन जुन छ मार्केटमा या तपाईको चाहिँ बीओपीमा त्यो चीजलाई चाहिँ मेन्टेन गर्ने काम चाहिँ मोनेटरी पोलिसी र फिस्कल पोलिसी गर्ने काम छ त्यसको साइड इफेक्ट नहोस् र गरिब भन्दा गरिब जनतालाई चाहिँ यसले असर नगरोस् किन भन्दाखेरि एकैपल्ट त्यो साइकलमा धनीलाई के फरक परेन नि परेन जस्तै पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्सको तपाईको प्राइस बढ्दा चाहिँ तपाईको काम हुन्छ भन्दाखेरि त्यसको इम्प्याक्ट नेगेटिभ इम्प्लिकेसन गाडी ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनको चाहिँ तपाईको प्राइसमा
कहाँ सबै ठाउँमा भइन्छ ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन
होइन त्यो भन्नाले तपाईको भ्यालु एडिसन कहाँ जान्छ भन्दाखेरि गुड्स र सर्भिसेसको ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन गर्ने हो त्यसमा पर्छ त्यसमा पढ्दा साथसाथमा तपाईको सबै चीज माहौल तपाईको बढ्दा साथै तपाईको चाहिँ एम्प्लॉयमेन्ट र स्यालेरी जुन छ त्यसमा पनि बढ्ने चाहिँ तपाईको स्वाभाविक भएर त्यो चीजको पार्ट छ त्यसले गर्दाखेरि मेजर कन्सर्न भनेको हाम्रो मेजर टार्गेट चाहिँ यो हो तर यो गर्दै गर्दै जाँदाखेरि तपाईको चाहिँ धेरै कुराहरु चेन्जेस आउँछ के त्यो चेन्जेस आइसकेपछि त्यसलाई चाहिँ कसरी रिस्क मिनिमाइज गर्ने र त्यसलाई कसरी कन्ट्रोल गर्ने भन्ने कुरा मोनेटरी पोलिसी र फिस्कल पोलिसी र डेभलपमेन्ट पोलिसीमा डिपेन्ड गर्छ हाम्रो मेजर कन्सर्न भनेको स्टेटको चाहिँ पोरलाई एड्रेस गर्ने मास पिपल हुन्छ जनतालाई हेर्ने हो नि त राज्यको काम त धनी मान्छे त जो योग्य छ जो सशक्त छ त्यो मान्छेलाई हेर्ने काम छैन नि उसले त योगदान गर्ने हो नि त्यो चिज जो चाहिँ कमजोर छ, जो मार्जिनल छ, त्यो मान्छेलाई हेर्ने हो। द्याट इज द मेजर कन्सेप्ट। स्टेटको विकासको लागि धनी मान्छे पनि चाहियो, इन्डस्ट्री एक्सपान्सनको लागि, तर त्यो धनी मान्छेले जुन कन्ट्रिब्युसन गर्छ त्यो काम ल्याउनु पर्यो भन्दाखेरि अरू मान्छेलाई पनि धनी बनाउने हिसाबमा सक्षम बनाएर राज्यको चाहिँ मेन स्ट्रिममा ल्याउने कामको लागि गर्नु। द्याट इज द मेजर। र त्यसको लागि नै पोलिसी फ्रेमवर्क अति आवश्यक छ, जुन चाहिँ टाइम टु टाइम एउटा मन्ट्री पोलिसी 1930s मा बनाएको चिज अहिलेसम्म हुनुपर्ने हो नि त। किन भन्दाखेरि डायनामिक चेन्ज भएको छ, इकोनोमिक स्ट्याटस चेन्ज भएको छ, सिचुएसन चेन्ज भएको छ, त्यो सिचुएसनको कारणले प्रब्लम्सहरू पनि चेन्ज भएको छ। त्यो प्रब्लम्सलाई सम्बोधन गरेर कन्ट्रोलमा राख्नको लागि चाहिँ मन्ट्री पोलिसी रिभाइज वर्ष या 6 महिनामा 3 महिनामा रिभाइज भइरहेको छ। द्याट इज द नीड। And these are the major instruments. If we observe, if we revise the monetary policy 2071 and 72, and that policy identified 5 major problems. One is that monetary policy realized market has excessive monetary supply or the liquidity, and the way problem is the how to manage the liquidity. Yes, bank have the liquidity. Individuals have the liquidity, and in this situation is called excessive liquidity. If Nepal Asst Bank cannot bring the good and effective policy, what will happen? These liquidity may be used in unproductive sector, like as the real estate. And in this way, Nepal Asst Bank or the central bank has pressurized how to manage properly this excessive liquidity. Another part is if the people have money, hold more money and the liquidity, what happens? Its negative implication goes on the price fluctuation, and the price fluctuation is a problem to the monetary policy. Another is the conversion of the investment into the productive sector. Nation and the economy needs more employment opportunities, higher economic growth rate. It is possible only when our credits, our money supply goes on the productive sector. Our liquidity is used into the productive sector. And the conversion of the credit investment into the productive sector is also the big challenge, because we have a large size of the informal market. Another is the financial stability. We have a large number of the financial institutions, Nepal Asst Bank, commercial bank, cooperatives and other institutions. And some cooperatives are function under the Nepal Asst Bank's rule and regulation, but the other remaining cooperatives are functioning under the division of the cooperative. And in this situation, to control these institutions is a big and tough job. And the Nepal Asst Bank has not proper information about these institutions. And another is how to control their liquidity. And the monetary policy does not address issues of such large number of the cooperatives and the financial institutions which are run under the division of the cooperative. And another is in this situation, if we cannot control and maintain, it brings us the problem of the financial stability. And another is the access to the financial services. And if you observe more, Professor Mohammed Yunis have established, four persons' right or the accessibility to the finance is a human right. And if people have the accessibility to the financial credits, what happens? They can easily improve their socio-economic level by doing these small entrepreneurial activities. And in this situation, our monetary policy's major problems is the accessibility to the financial services in remote areas. And working directions, expanding credit for achieving the expected economic growth rate. If we have to change GDP, first of all, we have to increase economic activities in agriculture sector, industrial sector, and service sector. And these activities can be promoted, can be expanded only from investment. and investment depends on the credit supply. And in this situation, our monetary policy's major concern is to contribute to achieve the expected economic